Okay, everybody, buckle your seatbelts because the Michael Finkley Show has a brand new home.
The Michael Finkley Show is now a part of the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. To watch, add the Greater Works Network channel to your Roku TV. Congratulations, Finkley!
Creating your own seat at the table.
We have Jamaal Finkley.
BlackTree just came to me. I don't know how.
And Reid Clark.
I did comedy. I was 19.
Coming up.
The brighter side, 'cause I've been working all my life just to make it, just to make it, just to make it. I've been working all my life just to make it.
Howdy, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. I'm Michael Finkley. Today is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. I hope that all is well, your week is going well, halfway through the week. Come on, y'all, Friday's almost here. Let's get it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Michael Finkley Show and ring that bell for notification. We'll send you an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to our subscribers, our viewers, our future subscribers, our future viewers. You're watching The Michael Finkley Show, where we're here to inform, educate, and inspire you. We're bringing you shows that you need to hear and that you want to hear as well. Thank you so much for watching. And so I remember having a conversation earlier this week with some persons, and we were just talking about our careers and where we are right now and that type of thing. And the topic came up about creating your own table, creating your own space at the table, your own chair, your own whatever that is at the table. Sometimes that persons that we're looking for to give us an opportunity in what we really want to do, they don't, or they have to do it, they don't do it as the way we expect it to, that type of thing. And so we were just saying how we were able to create our own space in whatever industry that we're trying to get into, and we're creating that space at that table. So sometimes in life, you have to step out on faith, you have to jump, as Steve Harvey always says, and you have to create that space that you're looking for. Sometimes it's not going to be available to you when you want it, or ever at times. So you have to create your own way. And this is what I did. I wanted to be in radio for so long, and I applied to different places and it kept getting rejected because I did not have the experience they were looking for. But I'm like, you know what? Let's just create this awesome platform on YouTube and on podcasts, and this is my way of creating. Our guests today have created their own path. We have Jamaal Finkley, CEO of BlackTree TV, and we also have comedian Reid Clark with us. They created their own way, and they're making a difference in doing so. Each of them have a tremendous story to tell. I can't wait to hear. Can you? We'll be right back.
Coming up, we have Jamaal Finkley. We'll be right back. On the next Michael Finkley, an exclusive interview with Tori and Victor on their transgender relationship.
What their life looks like on a daily basis.
Friday.
Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you.
Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming their life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie Little Homie Mentoring Program, Visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Again, we are still celebrating fully season 2 of the Michael Finkley Show, and again with another amazing guest. And I tell you, this one we have the same last name. I tell you, so he is the CEO and executive producer of BlackTree TV. Here he is, none other than Jamaal Finkley. Jamaal, thank you for being with us today.
All right, thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a long time coming. I must tell this story before we continue. Back in 2009, I attended the centennial of the NAACP. And at that time, we had connected, but we haven't met yet. And at that time, we were in New York in the same time. And so we actually met up. I don't know if you remember this picture or
I
not.
do. Whoa, with the picture. Let me see. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 years ago. 11 years ago. And I take this picture, like if I have a new job and I'll put the picture on my desk or whatever. Who is this? I'm like, that's just my cousin Jamaal. That's my cousin Jamaal right there, y'all. But yeah, it's been a long time. But yeah, definitely. You have been a true influence within the world of journalism and communications over 20 years. Over 20 years. But you grew up in the South. And when did you actually know that greater was upon your life?
That greater was upon my life. I mean, I think I was always striving to be great in different ways that didn't necessarily involve media. I mean, I was a student. I was an aspiring scientist or medical researcher or doctor. I was going to go in the medical field, and I wanted to be great at that. So I was great at my schoolwork and my grades, and I was an athlete. I was a greater track athlete than a basketball one, even though I probably loved basketball a little bit more at one time, and I was striving to be great at that. So I've always like kind of pushed to be the top of what I wanted to do, even when I didn't know, what would be next.
Right.
So.
Right. And in the South, there are some things that are told to us to say you should do this and do that, but sometimes we kind of miss the loop, as in going into media, going into or other things that are not normal for an African American male. Who are some of your influences growing up to kind of push you to that next level?
In the media in particular,
Just in
or
general.
just crazy. I mean, crazy enough. Like one of the people that I looked up to when I was growing up. Well, first, let me just say that my mom was a great influence and support on everything I did, and she made the landscape for me to be able to have opportunities and everything else. So that's first and foremost. But if I look outside of the house and think about it, crazy enough, Dr. Benjamin Chavis, no, not Dr. Ben Chavis, that's enough for them. Dr. Ben Carson, who's in later years have become, a whole different figure than I imagined when I was growing up. But his book, Gifted Hands, I really wanted to be a neurologist like him. I thought he was like so cool to be at Johns Hopkins, this Black surgeon, brain surgeon that was doing all these amazing medical procedures. I mean, he really pushed me into going into, I mean, not personally, but just as an inspiration, pushed me into going into biomedical engineering and choosing the college I went to, and everything else was it was really Dr. Ben Carson. And as far as I just told a friend this the other day, like I had dreams of being an Olympian, and this was this old movie. And the movie, I think the movie is just named Nadia. It was about a Romanian gymnast named Nadia Comaneci that was like the first person to get a perfect 10. And she like fueled my Olympic dreams. Like I always wanted to get an Olympic medal because of this Romanian gymnast.
Wow.
I mean, and it might as well have been in track, but it was still just the feeling of being on that stage and like trying to achieve like what everybody else can achieve. So weirdly enough, Nadia Comaneci and Ben Carson were early inspirations for me.
Wow, wow, amazing. That's amazing. To hear the story,
Never
that's
even thought about
amazing.
that to even to say that. It's weird to just pull
Wow.
that out. But that's when I think about it. That is the last 4 years when that other guy was in the White House.
Mhm.
It just sickened me to see some of the things that even before that when they were running that Dr. Ben Carson had professed as
Mhm.
far as his political stance, and
Right.
it sickened me that I had looked up to him like that. But yeah,
But that was another time. That was
yeah,
another time though, and that was
yeah,
legit. As time went on, things changed. Things do
yeah.
change. And so you graduated from high school and you went on to college in Tennessee to major in biomedical engineering. Why this choice?
Like I said, Ben Carson. Really wanted to get into neurology. Vanderbilt Medical Center was so advanced. My mom had put me into some summer science programs at Morehouse
Hmm.
and Morris Brown while I was a freshman, sophomore, junior in high school. And in those programs, we were able to do stuff like, we did a lot of stuff at Morehouse Medical School, and we went to Meharry University on one trip. I think this would have been my sophomore, junior year. I think my
Hmm.
sophomore going into junior year of high school, we went to Meharry, and we were able to witness and kind of participate in a gross anatomy opening up a cadaver.
Hmm.
And that was like, amazing to like open up a body and be want to be pre-med. And that really like kind of solidified like, hey, I want to be going to medicine. And
Yeah.
that trip where we were visiting mostly Meharry and Fisk and TSU because it was a African American program. I saw the campus of Vanderbilt and all the hospitals and everything else, and it just intrigued me. And so I was recruited by Vanderbilt for academics, and when I went there on my first visit, I saw the resources they had. First time I seen like a big uh, MRI, CAT scan machines, and everything they had. And I was like, this is where I want to be. If I'm gonna chase medicine, I want to have all of these resources. I don't want to feel like we're not at the front, the front edge of science. And I felt like Vanderbilt was there. So that's what drove me the most. I also wanted to compete, um, be competitive in track, and I got recruited by a couple of schools, but Vanderbilt was in the SEC. Even though it wasn't the top SEC school, I knew I would be able to see like some of the top schools and compete
Yeah.
against top athletes. So, and then Vanderbilt was 3.5, 4 hours away from Atlanta, so it just
Mhm.
made a lot of sense for me at that time to just get away from home, but not be too far
Right.
away that I couldn't come back.
I get that.
Yeah.
I definitely get that. And so as life continues, some things change. And that's the best thing about life. We explore new avenues. But you had an awesome experience to be a production assistant to a legend in film today, Spike Lee. How did that happen?
You know, Spike, well, Vanderbilt at the time, and this is um, a dated observation of Vanderbilt. 'Cause I'm not sure what the student body is now, but they have a lot more black people than we
Hmm.
were there. But I think we just was cracking 2% of the population. So a school
Okay.
of 11,000 students, and you're just like some 200 and change with
Right.
75 of those being athletes, with the basketball and football team. It just left. We were just a small community, and Spike Lee came to speak at the school, along with everything else. Like one good thing about the big universities, and I'm sure that even for the big HBCUs, is that they get a lot of speakers that come throughout the year and will speak. And one of those speakers was Spike Lee, and he came to talk about. I'm not even sure what he was talking about at the time. But I know he was representing the Jackie Robinson Foundation, which is one of his nonprofits, and talking about that. And he happened to be shooting a movie about the Million Man March
Hmm.
in Memphis and Nashville, mostly Nashville. He was going to be there for several weeks, and I used to have this huge afro. Like I used to have this huge afro when I worked for
Really,
So Def
Jamal?
for a moment, and they said I was like the So Def logo. Like when So Def hired me, they said, "Oh, you're our mascot." I used to have a huge afro. So Spike Lee saw the afro and somehow he pulled me over and asked if I wanted to be a PA. He was actually pulling PAs from Fisk University, TSU, and he
Okay.
pulled two from Vanderbilt. So actually, me and my frat brother were the PAs from Vanderbilt, and um, it was a lady and a female and a man at TSU, and I forget their names, and another two, and we all worked on that film for 4.5, 5 weeks, and
Wow.
it was actually like I was actually missing class, and Vanderbilt's very intense, so it was like tough to get your professors to like grant you some time to
Hmm.
be here or there. But I made it work, and I don't think at that very moment the bug had hit me, but
Hmm.
because the film was so under budget, we were doing stuff that union people were supposed to do. Like we were building dolly tracks in the woods and helping with casting locals to get for extras and
Yeah.
doing stuff that you don't supposed to do when you don't know nothing about the film world, but
Right.
somehow Spike had empowered us, or his AD Michael I forget his last name, but he had empowered us to do a lot of stuff, and that it made me feel like I was a part of the film, and I
Hmm.
was actually on the screen for like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So when I watched the movie, you know, there's so many great people in that movie: Ozzie Davis, Bernie Mac,
Yeah, Mr. Davis. Oh my
Isaiah Washington,
Wow.
Thomas Bird, the late Thomas Bird who passed. Wendell Pierce. There's
Hmm.
uh, uh, so many great people on that on that film that it was just a great cast to be around and to get to know. And the people behind the scenes were just as great. And I remember watching the movie, and we had all turn in this paperwork to get credit and somehow none of us got in the credits. But I was watching the credits at the end,
Wow.
and it was the first time that I watched the credits, and I figured out that these were all jobs. Like the people that was the gaffer, whose name I don't remember right now. Like when I seen his name in gaffer, I was like, oh, okay, that's a job. And the best boy, I was like, oh, that's a job. The second camera operator, all these people that were just titles or stuff that I would skip after the movie. Now were people that I knew over a period of 5 weeks, and I just got enthralled with watching the credits.
Hmm.
And after that, and after figuring out how many people make a movie, because at the time I just thought that the people in front of the camera made the movie. And maybe it's a
Right.
director or whatever, but let's see about all the people. When I saw that, it just gave me confidence because I didn't want to be an actor. I was like, I could get one of these positions behind the screen and be a part of movie magic, and that
Hmm.
was kind of like
Hmm.
the first bug in the wanting to make movies. I kind of had a earlier bug about news media that was that was more centered around growing up in Atlanta and seeing the space shuttle Challenger blow up and seeing CNN be launched and all
Yeah.
this stuff. So like that was just another element what CNN was doing and growing into this news media hub in Atlanta that kind of gave me that peak of interest. So between those two, BlackTree kind of got formulated in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about Black Tree TV. How did this all get started for you and when did it begin?
Like so many, I don't know if this is, and I don't want to actually give her credit, but at the time I was in school and I had a girlfriend and we were breaking up because she was pledging a sorority. I won't name the sorority, but they were real like they had them on some other stuff. Like you can't
Hmm.
talk to your dude, you can't do that. I was just getting upset. It ended up being fracture in our relationship and we broke up. And
Mhm.
kind of like when she was embracing her new letters, I was like, I want to do something. I'm gonna make my company. It was kind of as simple as that, you know. It was like I'm gonna make
Wow.
this company, and BlackTree just came to me. I don't know, you know. You in college, I don't know, something, you know. It just came to me. I mean, I actually had thoughts behind what it was going to be, but at first it was a business network, and a lot of corporations were just starting to merge and become bigger corporations, and I felt like Black people didn't have a big corporation. So BlackTree was going to be all these entrepreneurs that were doing whatever they were doing, whether they were DJs, doing screen printing, graphic design, whatever. And I was like, we're going to be in one coalition and we're going to work together. We're going to discount our prices for each other so that we can be bigger to everybody else. And
Mhm.
that was like the BlackTree Business Network, which then later on became, when I purchased the camera, it became BlackTree Media
Mhm.
on the side of that, which was one of the elements of the business network. So that's how it started. It started in school. I was just uh kind of hurt and wanted something to focus on, wanted to have my own little thing. And you know, even though I was already Greek, you
Mhm.
know, but and then in 97 just BlackTree BlackTree was born, you know. And
Amazing.
by 98 it became BlackTree Media, you know.
Mhm.
And really didn't become BlackTree TV until 2007, but BlackTree Media was the first, you know, media output of BlackTree Enterprises.
Yep, I gotcha. And in that time frame, it's currently you have covered the Grammys, Golden Globes, the Academy Awards, all of these different things. What are some of your favorite moments and interviews? You interview a lot of different persons, celebrities. So, what are some of your favorite moments?
Uh, you know, it's like you said, there's been so many, and I love being like early on to people. Like I mean the greatest moments are easy. I sat across from Michael Jackson and James Brown in the same room, and
Ah,
it was only two other people in that room. So in a way, I feel like that's something that, you know, nobody would ever live that moment again. You know. And
right, right,
you know, I snuck into my first interview with Will Smith. That was a great moment for me, just because it was kind of like bold and making something happen, and it ended up being, you know, leading to a relationship with Will that continues to this day. But I think the other ones are like, you know, I was Yara Shahidi's first interview when
hmm,
she first went on her press tour, and like till this day, you know, I'm still tight with Yara and her mom Carrie.
wow,
I'm still close to them because of that moment. You know, they trusted me with their little girl to do this interview, and it worked out.
right,
Same with Chadwick Boseman, who wasn't as young as Yara. You know, Chad was he's as old as we're about the same age. But you know, when he did 42, and they, you know, a lot of times the studios didn't have a lot of black journalists, especially, you know, some years ago, a decade ago, or whatever, didn't have a lot of black journalists. And sometimes they would like use you to warm up the talent that wasn't used to doing these kind of press rounds.
right,
So, you know, like, you know, you get an early call time, it's like, oh, okay, they trying to get this person to cool out, or they want me to be in there to be like the cooler or something, like to get the guy to be chill out and relax. So I was one of I must have been first or second on that call sheet, because I remember exactly where the interview was for 42. It was at this baseball kind of memorabilia Hall of Fame thing in LA. And I remember I was early morning there because there was no other cars like when I pulled up. And I was one of Chad's first interviews, and we kept that relationship so strong from that moment. So like those moments like stand out to me, where, you know, one of my business partners was like, well, which talent can we really count on for everything? And it almost teared up thinking about that Chad was that guy. You know, like
yeah,
Will Smith would do it whenever Will Smith is working, he'll do what he's doing. But I remember those times where other journalists would get mad because Chad wouldn't stop, but he would stop for me. And we didn't know that he was going through what he was going
yeah,
through. But you know, it's the fact that he would still make that effort to come talk to me, you know,
it's amazing.
means a lot. So like those moments kind of stand out more than the Grammys and the Oscars and those things. Those events are great, but they're physically draining to stand up all day and try to remember every movie and TV show that people going across, from you, and you have to be quick on your memory and your toes and try to put stuff in context. And it's kind of it's kind of super tough when you're not an operation of, Entertainment Tonight comes down. They have like 30 people,
Right.
and they give us three. So it's like they give us three to five people. So us trying to make something happen without as many of the resources, without somebody in my ear that's in the studio in front of a computer looking up stuff. When you just have to be, for it's draining. But I do miss it. I do miss those times being on the carpet. Like this virtual year has been something else.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna get back there soon. We're gonna get
Yeah.
back there soon. We definitely are.
Hopefully. Hopefully. I don't think some stuff coming back, but
Yeah, yeah. That's life. We have to go with the flow of life. And you have done so much in these 20 plus years that you've been in this industry. What's next for you?
I don't know. I'm definitely creating a lot of my own content and stories. I developed some stories that I wasn't able to see through to the screen.
Yeah.
Some stories got, I'll just say without naming them, some stories got ripped off from me and are coming to the screen. And I still have a dream of making some movies that will come to the screen, or TV series that will come to the screen. So that's what I'm kind of working on that is what I'm working on at the time, developing scripts. But a lot of time people look at this time, and this is for everybody out there that's going through the pandemic, and people are like, hey, you got all this time, man, make a movie or make a dress or make whatever you do because you got all this time. But a lot of times it's just like mental space and everything, like sometimes it's not just the fact that you're just sitting with, time to do stuff. Sometimes it's just like where you're inspired from. So it's been a challenge to be in this space and have the same creativity that you might have otherwise, even in a busier time. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. So I do want to create. I want to teach. I want to. I just want to make more opportunities. Like I've had a couple of people that's come through the ranks at BlackTree that are doing amazing things, and I want to see more people do that. I want to see the other people that haven't reached their, full potential or haven't got their shine yet after they've left BlackTree. I want to see those people get their jobs too. But it's like every time one of my BlackTree alumni do something great, it feels, not as much as I'm proud of my kids, because my kids really are the pride of my life, but it does feel like on that level, like I'm super happy, when I seen
Father to them
Rich.
too.
Yeah. I see people do stuff great. I'm like, wow. I played a little part in that. Like when Francesca Amaker, which is one of the people that I recruited at BlackTree. She was a junior in college, and I had her host the Emmys for me. So I flew her she was at my alma mater, Vanderbilt. I flew her from Nashville to LA and got her a nice room and everything else. Got her a gown made by Angela Dean, who makes all these gowns for Halle Berry and whoever else, and put her on the carpet. And the gown was green and she was green. Like she wasn't ready for that thing, but she did like a good job. And that now, some, I don't know, 12 years later, not even 12, 9 years later, now she has 3 Emmys of her own as a daytime television news host. And it's just amazing, that when she found it at that time, that she would, when she's getting her thing, that would thank me. It makes me feel like, like, not that recognition was like, yeah, but it just made me feel like, wow, she does think of that as like something that opened the door for her. That makes me, proud to see people like that, or Joanne Delero, who's now like this huge producer at TMZ, or Rachel Scott, who's a White House correspondent now. I see people like doing amazing things that's come through the
Amazing.
BlackTree ranks. It
Yeah.
feeds my soul and
Yeah.
my purpose.
Yeah, definitely. You're doing an amazing job, and continue to strive for that as well. Don't lose that. We need it, especially in a time like this. How can they find you on social media?
BlackTree TV is the call letters for everything. So you can find me on YouTube, which is kind of where I spend the most time. I'm not as much a guy on Twitter. Like our company is on will be on Twitter, but as far as like if you want to get at me, you leave a comment on the video. Believe it or not, even though we have a billion views on some of those videos, and we have like over 100 videos that's over 1 million views on our channel, I see a lot of those comments. I spend most of my time procuring and doing content on our YouTube platform. So that's the easiest spot. But I mean, you can find us BlackTree TV on Instagram, on Twitter. Yeah, that's probably the best. I mean, I'm Jamaal _Finkley. I'm my name, Jamaal _Finkley on IG, but I kind of keep that a little bit more private for people that I know, like you, more than anybody else. But people just try to, find me and connect with us. BlackTree TV is kind of the best spot to find me.
All right, you heard it here. Oh, thank you so much, Jamaal, for being on and telling your story. I tell you, I was encouraged by it, by someone that's new to all of this awesomeness, this industry. So thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Congratulations on season 2, man. Keep doing it, man. Just create the content, create more content, and keep your voice out there, because the power of media is something that we as a people haven't took a grasp to, and the more people that's here that really has a voice gives us all a bigger voice, because they could silence us when they own all the networks and they want to quiet us down. I mean, I know they just neutered Trump, and and that was one of their favorite people for a while, and made them a lot of money in advertising. So think about if they really want to silence our protests or whatever online. It's pretty easy to do. So strive to not only have a show, but to have a platform. And I think that's like, as a people, we need to have our own Facebook, our own networks and everything else, and continue to have a power and a voice in media. So I hope we could strive to do that together, Mike.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Definitely. The Finkleys are on it. Yes, sir.
The Finkleys are on it, man.
Next, we have Reid Clark. We'll be right back.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following 2 products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlowe.com.
Calling all TRIO, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our college readiness cohort series.
This college readiness series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really? If interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you. The Michael Finkley Show. Now, you may have seen my next guest on Netflix, BET, and Amazon Prime, just to name a few. He is none other than comedian Reid Clark. Reid, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Of course, we're excited for you too. I know you're gonna make us laugh, so let's just get started. So I must ask this question. Were you the funny one growing up?
I definitely have family members that are funnier than me. My cousin used to basically coerce me into doing like pranks from the show Jackass.
Uh-huh.
He would take me to like the $5 movie theater in like Southeast DC and have me like parade around thug-looking people making strange noises just to see what would happen, and it would make her and her friends laugh. So
Wow.
yeah, she taught me funny faces and pranks like that. So I would say my cousin's funnier than me, but I just do it on stage.
Whoa, I get it. I definitely get it. I must say this as well. Before we started, we were talking beforehand, and we have something in common. Your grandfather is from our hometown of Mullen, South Carolina. So y'all, we're looking at my cousin. This is my cousin. This is my cousin right here.
I'm gonna have to ask my mom about the Finkleys.
Yes, please. Well, we're very prominent in Mullins and Marion. I'm sure that we're so unique in name. So yeah, I'm probably sure that she knows some. So Reid, what was the first joke you ever told? Do you remember?
The first I guess joke I ever told was improvised, which is appropriate. I like to do improv, but the first time I did comedy, I was 19. I was trying to smoke a little bit in the alley outside of the comedy club, and there was a homeless person like across the alleyway, like defecating while I was trying to smoke. So we were both hiding, and we kind of like made eye contact a little bit. So I told that story on stage, and it did really well because people knew who the person was I was talking about. He was like a local homeless legend in the area.
Oh, that's just great. He just doing his best. That's it.
Right.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So who makes you laugh?
His name. Oh, who makes me laugh? Well, lately, I'll say Tracy Morgan's Bonafide album almost always makes me laugh. I almost always laugh at Bill Hicks. If I would really want a belly laugh shows, I'll watch maybe Curb Your Enthusiasm. Or I do a lot of Zoom comedy shows, which is different than like normal stand up. But there are some people who give Marcel Neal, some local comics, who make me laugh. My girlfriend, we do a podcast together called The People's Report.
Okay.
So she makes me laugh sometimes when she's not making me cry.
Oh wow. And I'm getting more used to of the virtual realm, and I just actually saw a comedy special via a Zoom or on the virtual realm, and I just interviewed Eric Escobar, and he was up there. So yeah, y'all working it. Y'all working this realm. Y'all definitely working this realm. Yeah. So Reid, we know that
Laughter can heal. How does it heal for you?
I like to be the one to provide the laughs.
Mhm.
There's a mural at the People's Improv Theater in New York. They attribute the quote to Chris Farley, but I don't know if he said it. But it's like a clown's prayer, and it's essentially saying, "Don't put me in a position to forget that I am put here to bring joy to other people."
Hmm.
So I try to heal myself with other devices so I can be able to provide laughter for those who may need healing. Because my instinct to laugh at things before getting upset may heal or prevent me from healing. But yeah, I try to. I when I get in bad moods, it's usually because of comedy. Like I had a bad set, or I'm not getting booked enough or something. So I like to be able to help others, and that heals me.
Gotcha. And so at what point in your life, in your comedy life, did you know that, hey, I like this. Comedy is for me.
When I was wow, that's a good question. When I was 7, I started acting in a little community theater. When I was 11, 12, I actually got like a speaking role. I was the lion in
Mhm.
The Wizard of Oz. Um, but I quit that role to play basketball. And then from maybe 11, 12 to 19, I was really committed to basketball. I went to a D3 school on like a scholarship. And I decided I didn't want to play anymore. The coach was like, all right, well, you might not be here next semester then. So, hence scholarship. It couldn't really be a scholarship, but if I wasn't going to play basketball, I couldn't get it. So I failed out of school and kind of was at a position where I was like, I like performing. I auditioned for plays and stuff.
Right.
It was just, butler roles or slavey looking roles. So I found this comedy club where you could get up once a week and pretty much do whatever you wanted to do with your time. And I was like, that's
Mhm.
perfect. So it was kind of out of necessity of wanting stage time, but then it became something I wanted to own as a craft.
Right. I gotcha. All right. I like that. And so, we use a terminology a lot that I made it to find at times personal success.
Mhm.
In your eyes, have you made it yet?
I believe I do better and better each year, which keeps me from quitting. I will not be able to make it. Man, 2019, I was close. I was making some good money, but but I could pay all of the bills with comedy without doing anything that sacrifices any of my ideals or puts my people in a negative light. I would
Mhm.
consider that making it. And I've learned I kind of like set goals too low, and that still might be a low goal setting answer. But
Mhm.
I just want to be able to feed myself and my loved ones and not
Gotcha.
be able to look myself in the mirror.
I got you. I
Hasn't
got
happened yet, but one day.
one day. That's what we're aiming for. That's what we're all aiming for in our own personal success. Do you see yourself doing anything besides comedy?
Probably the stuff I wanted to do when I got into it, acting, writing, and directing. I probably would be I probably, if I could, would take the Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence route, maybe a couple comedy specials. And then once I
Mm.
start getting into movies, y'all won't see me no more because I'll be rich with 12 wives and 17 children.
Okay, Reid.
That's,
Okay.
that's,
Oh
the, that
man.
was the answer to the question from earlier. When will I have made it? When I have the compound and 17 kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got you. So says Reid. So you have performed in awesome venues as well, and platforms such as, Netflix, BET, Amazon Prime, as we stated before. What is your next dream venue?
When I was younger, I used to always want to be on like the Oprah show. That was the dream, right? But no more. But now I would love to get SNL really, really bad.
Hmm.
I don't want too many things that bad, but I think I still have like 5 to 7 years to pursue it before I'm too old. So I would really like to be on SNL.
Okay, awesome. And how are you striving to get there?
I'm trying to get better at those skills like sketch writing and character work. Some weak spots. I put a lot in joke writing and performing comedy. But as far as like the craft of sketch writing, the way they do it as an institution, I'm trying to learn and understand and master.
Gotcha. You're gonna get there, bro. You're definitely gonna get there. Just keep going. Just keep going. So I must do this because you're a comedian and impromptu. Give me your best joke. Come on.
Oh Lord. This isn't all right, here we go. I like this one. Tiny Lester, Debo from Friday, passed away recently.
Mhm.
Some people he had a good life, right? And when he died, his life flashed before his eyes.
Mhm.
But it was on two screens. One was facing this way and one was over there.
Sir. Sir.
The facial reaction made me laugh. That was good.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Rest in peace, Tyler.
Rest in power, King.
Please rest in power. But that was funny. Give me another. One more. Give me another.
I think this is newer. We'll see. Actually, I want to do this one.
Okay. Oh, exclusives. All right.
I don't like Trump, and I want to find a way to describe how much I don't like him. But the words that they call him don't really do it for me. They call him fascist, and like a fascist sounds like a direction from a Black grandmother. It's like, hit that light, cut that out, fix this, fascist. What you really want to call Trump is a nigger. But if you call Trump a nigger, he'll say nigger, right? He'll be in interviews like, I was the realest nigger. I was the best nigger. Ain't no nigga like the one you had, okay? And you lost him, okay?
He would do it too. It's like an award for him.
You would love to be able to say it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll work, Reid. That would definitely work. Oh God. So what is next for you? What's going on with you now?
Well, we just moved into this place here out west, so we're still trying to find some furniture. But tomorrow I have a virtual show with Bonfire Live. Just follow me, please, at Reid Clark Comedy. And I also have a podcast, like I mentioned earlier, the People's Report podcast. It's a scripted, variety style, satirical NPR sort of thing. We come back after a hiatus we took to move. We come back February 1st with a new sponsorship that's very exciting. So please tune in, learn how to figure out how to save some money with a Black-owned business. So it's cool.
All right. I love it. I love that, especially the saving money part. I love it all. How can they find you on social media, Reid?
At Reid Clark Comedy on all platforms, REID CLARK Comedy. And at People's Report, PPLS Report Pod for the podcast.
All right, you heard it here, and that information is in the description below. Reid Clark, everyone. Thank you for being on.
Thank you, sir.
Need a little motivation?
Timothy Clifton is with us every week on Mondays to get your week started with a little motivation, all here on The Michael Finkley Show.
On the next Michael Finkley.
CEO of Spoken Entertainment and celebrity host and producer, Stephen McCoy. Mr. Personal Development himself, Justin Rambo.
Next Finkley.
Monday.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. I do hope that you learned something from our guest today. Thank you so much, Jamaal. Thank you so much, Reid, for being with us today. Again, their own spaces, right? Their own spaces, their own opportunities. They learned as they went along and then created their own space. So I thank you so much for sharing your stories. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. On the next Michael Finkley Friday, now we'll be chatting with Victor and Tori Jenkins of Meet the Jenkins, and they have a very unique story. They are a transgender couple, and they're going to tell their tale of how they met, you know, the turmoil they had to go through, just things that they had to overcome to be where they are today as this couple. So another story you would not want to miss on Friday's Finkley. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show, and ring that bell notification. We'll see you an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please, please, please listen to us on Spotify and also Apple Podcasts. And please visit our website for up-to-date information at michaelfinkleyshow.com. Thank you so much for watching. Guess what? We'll see you Friday. Have a good one.